What is going on, everyone? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is directed by James Gunn and stars everyone that was in the first Guardians of the Galaxy and Kurt Russell. It's been about a month since my last movie review, so it's good to be back doing some more movie reviews. And unfortunately, this is the last time I will be filming from this location. I know, it's unfortunate. But I am happy to go back to my old sets because I feel like those are 10 times better. But anyway, back to the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 movie. In this Guardians of the Galaxy movie, the Guardians find themselves in trouble early on, but then crash land on a planet, and later they encounter a suspicious figure who turns out to be Star-Lord's father. I was pretty hyped to see this movie. The first Guardians of the Galaxy movie I felt was pretty darn good, and I liked the cast a lot. So this one had Kurt Russell on it, and that made me even more excited. So let's talk about why I actually feel like this movie is very good. The characters in this movie I feel like are all fleshed out super well and are great. Chris Pratt is back as Star-Lord in this movie, and he is better than ever. We hear a lot about his character in this movie. There's so much we learn, especially with his father Egos being in this movie, and Kurt Russell as Egos. What a great character he was. One of the best I've seen in a while in a Marvel movie. To be honest, I feel like their connection, Kurt Russell, Chris Pratt, father and son, was really well done. Gamora and Nebula in this movie, they have a connection. We learn about their past, and I actually felt a lot for their characters, and I liked them a lot better. Specifically, Nebula, I did not like her at all in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but in this one, I liked her 10 times more because there was so much done with her character in this movie that I felt so much for her and her sister, and it was also done very well. We learn a tiny bit about Drax's backstory, but he's mostly the funny guy once again in this movie, and Dave Bautista, he's a really funny guy, so it makes sense why his character in this movie would be so funny, and he's pretty much the guy that says most of the jokes. And I love Drax, so I really don't care all that much if he's not given too much of a backstory. Bradley Cooper as Rocket in this movie, also very funny. He's one of the better characters in this film, and Baby Groot too. They don't have the connection they had in the first film because Groot is a baby now, but he's very cute and I like the character there. Another character I actually disliked a lot in the first movie was Yondu, but after hearing a lot about his backstory in this movie, I liked him a lot more as well. In fact, by the end of this film, he ended up being my favorite character in the entire movie, so that just tells you how much they actually did with this character in this film. So overall, I felt like the characters in this movie were extremely strong, and I had no complaints about any of them. And that's one of the things I felt like James Gunn was trying to do for this movie. Since none of these characters were given their own individual films, they were trying to give them a lot more development in this film so they can lead into the Infinity War that we're supposed to see in a couple years. And in this film, it's like the first one. It's really funny. Honestly, I laughed a lot of times. There were a couple times the jokes did not hit me, but overall, I felt like the vast majority of the jokes were great. I'm starting to realize that the Guardians of the Galaxy jokes are more on the side of being rated R in the PG-13 rating instead of being closer to the PG rating there for PG-13. And that's actually why I think a lot of people like these movies, is because the jokes are more towards adults. There aren't that many action sequences in this film, but when they are on screen, it's a lot of fun. There's a couple of cool space battles, they're really fun to watch, and also there's this awesome scene with Rocket and Yondu. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it was one of the best scenes I've seen so far in a Marvel movie. Those are the positives I have for this movie. Now let's get into some of the negatives. The storytelling for this film, The first half of this movie, I felt like there was not much direction at all. I had no idea where this movie was going. It just felt like they were just trying to get as many characters together at once and didn't really have a reason for them being there with each other. It was just a way to build up to the second half of this film. Thankfully though, after the first half of this movie, the direction started picking up a lot and it got really good by the second half of this film. But the first half, it was pretty iffy for me, very choppy. Some of these scenes did not seem like they needed to be in there, and there was a lot of filler, so the first half, I feel like they could have done better with the storytelling there. And also because of the first half, this movie almost felt like a TV episode, at least in the first half of the movie. The second half, it felt like an actual theatrical movie, but the first half of this film, I'm serious, it felt like an episode you would be watching on TV of something. But seriously, other than that, I actually felt like this was a really good sequel to the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Some of the characters I disliked in the first movie, I liked a lot more in this one. I felt like Egos was a great character in this movie. All the other Guardians of the Galaxy coming back in this film were also great. Really funny movie as well. Some cool action sequences. And the second half of this movie was extremely strong, honestly. I don't think I have any complaints with the second half at all. And I felt a lot of emotion in this movie too, and that's because of how well developed all all these characters were in this movie, so props to James Gunn for that. He did a great job with the characters and making me feel very emotional in this movie. Some people were hating on this movie already. I cannot believe that. This was actually a great sequel. I'm not going to complain about it being a sequel at all. They could have tweaked a couple of the storytelling elements, but other than that, I was completely fine with this sequel. And I cannot wait to see where they go from here. It's going to be great when they start going into the next couple of Avengers movies. I'm going to give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 a 77%, one that you guys all should check out, especially if you love the first movie. And this one I feel like is actually one of the better movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I would definitely buy this on Blu-ray. I'm being serious here. I'm not sure where I would rank it in my movies for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's definitely top 10 for sure. And it's a great way to start the summer. I am so excited for the summer season. This was just a great way to kick off the summer season. A lot better than 2016, that's for sure. Let me know in the comments what summer movie you're looking forward to most, and if you've seen this movie already, let me know what you thought about it. Say goodbye to the set, guys. You'll never see it ever again. It was a great time being here, but I'm looking forward to going to my other sets. There's some more summer movies coming up soon, so I'll definitely have some videos coming up for you guys. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.